back in London. The Blitz was already in full force. There were still bombers coming over every night, hundreds of them. There was no school. All the schools were closed. So we just used to play on the bomb debris, gangs of boys. And we used to fight each other, of course. We lived very poor. I had one pair of socks. I had one pair of short trousers. I had one pullover. I had no underwear. It was nasty. Being alive in those days was nasty, especially in the winter time. Walking to school with holes in your shoes and your socks. Get to school, no fire, there was no coal during the war. There would be no fire in the school, no radiators, freezing cold. It's impossible to describe how you felt because it was so terrifying. You'd hear the air raid siren go, and normally we would just go up to the top of our road into the high street and go down into the public air raid shelter underneath the department store, because that was a lot better than the air raid shelter in the garden, the Anderson shelter, because that was usually full of water. By the time the bombers had arrived, there was so much noise from the ack-ack guns. In fact, you just used to do this. And if someone wanted to talk to you, they would wave at you and you'd have to take your hands off to listen, then you'd put them back on. You just could not take your fingers out of your ears. The noise was just deafening. So now and again there would be an extra noise and you'd know that was a bomb. A bomb had landed nearby. Or the ground would shake. You'd know that, and the walls would shake. But it was always wonder if our house is still there. When you came out in the morning, you had to now walk home, and your house might not be there. So Mum was always saying, come on, let's go and see if we've still got a house to live in. And we'd go, and always, we were lucky. We always still had a house to live in. And then, of course, the pavements get covered in broken slates. And it's a new world because you're looking to see what houses are there and which houses are not. It was a funny old time to be alive, it really was. Especially for a little boy like me, because I couldn't understand why they'd want to do these things. How stupid can you be? Why did they do this? What's it all about? All we knew was it was Germans doing it. We hated the Germans. We hated them. There's a little tiny bit of me that still hates them. Just a little tiny bit. After the war, when I was married, I had an old car, and I decided I wanted to go down to Wedmore with it and see if I could find Mrs. Pitcairn. My wife and I drove down to Wedmore, went to the Manor house. She came out and we met. Wonderful meeting. And I was about 24 years old then. So it was about 20 years since I'd seen her. She hadn't changed. I knew her as soon as I saw her. She started reminding me of some of the things that had happened while we were living there. She just loved it. Having a cockney in the house. It was a novelty to her. She loved it. Not many would. She was very special. Second time I saw her, though, she must have been near the end. It was about 10 years after that. She'd left the manor house. She was living in a bungalow, and she had sold everything off. And the farm was now a housing estate. They say never go back. You shouldn't. No. I'm now 79, I shall be 80 in 3 weeks' time. And I still do 25 press-ups every morning.